Hello and welcome to round 6 of the 2020 Formula Virtual World Championship here from Magny-Cours in France. My name's Brady Doughton and I'm joined today by Lily Westwood.
Salut.
And Robert Mathshaw down in the pit lane.
Bonjour à tous.
Today then the drivers will be tackling 70 laps of this 4.412 kilometre circuit. Nathaniel Powers won here last year. If he's to repeat that, he's going to have to go some to beat Mathshaw at what is their home race here in France. Let's take a look through the grid then and see how they line up. Unsurprisingly, it's Enrique Ruiz on pole then for the 5th time in 6 races, but it's not his teammate that lines up alongside him. It is instead the race winner from last time out, Felix Perez, on the front row. The two of them on the soft tyres, a mix really of softs and mediums with some hards thrown in here today, but only a few. Row 2 consists of the 2 British contingent. Nathaniel Powers heads Will Hoskins, while just behind them we have Klaas van Snelheid and Adrian Simon making up the 3rd row. Van Snelheid is the top driver on the medium tyres, so keep an eye on the Dutchman to see what he can do today. Hunter Ryan goes from 7th, while Johan Halvorsen starts in 8th, and the Dane is actually the top driver on the hard tyres. So again, another one to keep an eye on in amongst the soft and medium tyred runners. His teammate lines up just behind him in 9th, a much improved showing from Gabriele Garcia, while Thierry Zylander rounds out the top 10. A stunning effort yesterday in qualifying from the Belgian. Likewise, the Japanese star behind him, Yukumi Takahashi, in only making the grid for the 3rd race of the season, puts it 11th, just ahead of Puccio Diodano. That's easily his and Arrow's best qualifying. On row 7, it's the 2 Ingram cars. John Matson ahead of James Vasquez, who'll be looking to pass his teammate early on as he's on a softer compounded tyre. Dominikas Viranas was disappointed with qualifying in 15th, but not as much as Alar Kanga and the Lopez team were. He starts 16th and is the highest Lopez on the grid, his teammate, back in 20th. But just in front of Wagner then, we've got Sergio Alvarez and Timo Kinnaman lining up together on row 9. And then indeed rounding out the top 20, Gianni Ledesma is just ahead of the German. And Elroy Wagner just struggled in qualifying yesterday, said he had no grip, couldn't get the car working, all the tyres, and that was the result. Lewis Ellington lines up just behind him then in 21st. Nikolai Milkovic alongside on the 11th row of the grid in 22nd. Just ahead of Marcus Thunder, who is the only Lucas in this race then after Carson Davenport failed to qualify. Kyle Beckenbauer, another tough qualifying session. He starts down in 24th. And on the back row, they scored a point last time out. It'll be a tougher ask from here. The 2 Franklins, Nick Addison leads Chiara Thunder. So as we go down to the grid then, it's Enrique Ruiz in pole position. Felix Perez, the winner last time out, lines up alongside in 2nd. The lights go out now, we're racing in France, and it looks as though Perez just ever so slightly missed the start there. Powers is already up and alongside, but it's Ruiz clear and away, up front, into the lead then. Nathaniel Powers around the outside of Felix Perez and takes 2nd place behind them. Klaas van Snelheid has lost a load of ground, he's down to 8th, 9th now, as Perez goes back past Powers and into 2nd place then. It's Ruiz leading from Nathaniel Powers, Felix Perez is back into 2nd, Will Hoskins 4th, Adrian Simon in 5th.
Yeah, really nice clean getaway there for Enrique Ruiz. His Klaas van Snelheid just went backwards.
It's down into the hairpin for the first time. Sorry, that's Powers. Back up the inside of Perez. And I think they're absolutely wheel to wheel then as they come to the chicane for the first time. And it will be, I think, Felix Perez who takes it. And indeed, Will Hoskins has demoted Powers to 4th.
Kinnaman has had a phenomenal start. He's up to 13th after starting 18th on the grid.
Yeah, great effort there from the Finn. Just behind Thierry Zylander now, who's actually lost 2 spots from where he qualified. Nathaniel Powers has got back to 3rd. Meanwhile, Klaas van Snelheid has dropped to 10th.
Oh, that is not a good start for the Dutchman. Those medium tyres really not offering the optimum grip from the get-go as Ruiz, looking at that gap already, just starts setting about putting on cruise mode really, doesn't he?
Yeah, absolutely. Where was it Klaas qualified? Was he 5th? 6th?
4th.
Was he 4th?
5th. Because it was first Power. It was first Downton, So it's 5th. So Halvorson's managed to get past Klaas and Simon at some point there.
It was 5th, yeah. So Klaas lost 5 places there on the open lap. He's gained 1 back up past Vasquez already as we go on board with Adrian Simon around the outside of Johan Halvorsen at the exit of turn 2, and that was beautiful. As just slightly further up the road, Will Hoskins absolutely stalking Nathaniel Powers.
Yeah, that was a really pretty move around the outside. But Hoskins is definitely looking to probably aim for that 6-second double podium, even though it was technically a 1-2. That's still a double podium. What am I on about? Zylander coming into threat now. And Kinnaman, he's actually fallen behind. He's going to have the outside line going into this fast right-hander. Yeah, too much just had to back out of that one there.
Yeah, Kinnaman just got pinched there on the inside. As we've got a yellow flag in the opening 2 sectors. Sergio Alvarez is right at the back then, and the Argentinian is in the wall.
This little beamer build, just here we.
Yeah, so there we go. So Alvarez took too much curb on the inside, got a tank slapper, caught it, but it flicked him back the other way, and well, that put him into the wall.
Yeah, Phoenix just can't seem to catch a break at the moment, and he's still losing time. I think he's still stuck in the wall badly.
Yeah, seems like that could certainly.
Oh my god!
Oh, and he's out.
He's out.
So Sergio Alvarez now then has retired from the race. First retirement on just lap 2 here in France. Then, as yeah, his teammates not had the greatest of starts either. As I say, dropped from 10th to 12th, and Zylander on the soft tyre, not really. You know, with only harder compounds around him, just seems like a bit of a bad getaway.
Here we go, but Klaas trying to make up for that awful first lap here. He's hounding Garcia, but obviously they're going to run into Ryan, and more importantly, Halverson on the hards pretty soon, as we've got Giordano piling pressure on Vasquez as well, 10th place. That's an arrow up the inside. That's Takahashi. That might be defense from.
I was going to say, I think that's defense from Matson. Takahashi started 11th, then he slipped to 14th already. I think that's to be expected, really. It was an outstanding qualifying lap that put him in 11th, but I don't think anyone really expects him to stay there.
No, I mean, this circuit is notoriously difficult to overtake at, and the temperatures are a bit higher than last time out, so the hard tyres might get some decent grip, but they're in. Yeah, I mean, only time will tell. We could see a Ledesma-esque performance, not one he's putting in today, of course, but.
I don't know. I think it's considerably easier to overtake here than Kyle Army.
Yeah, no, don't get me wrong. It's easy to, not easy. It's easier to overtake here than Kyalami, but it's still quite a twisty type track.
Yeah, very
in comparison to others we have.
As Klaas van Schnelheid then still stuck behind Gabriele Garcia, and you're quite right. What he'll want to do is get through this traffic and get up and past Johan Halverson. He's going to be the cork in the bottle at the moment. And Halverson on the hard tyres. He is the highest runner on the hard tyres by quite a bit, I think. I think the next one is actually Takahashi, isn't it?
Yes.
As there we go, Matson down the inside of Takahashi at the hairpin. Then as behind him, the two Lopez try and mugs Viranas, and Jean Matson has the inside line, but he's actually got the car well ahead. But even then, has to back out of it.
Oh, I didn't realise Matson's on the hards as well. So this is going to hold up the guys behind him an absolute treat.
Yeah, Takahashi already nearly 3 seconds behind Timo Kinnaman.
Yeah, and Kinnaman doing really well, setting above Thierry Zylander there. Obviously, the sole remaining Phoenix in this V-Prix.
Yeah, very much so. As that's Lewis Ellington looking at overtaking Elroy Buckner, doesn't quite pull it off. But Ellington in his first race since the opener in Japan, I believe, actually, and his first race at Arrow. Yeah, reasonable qualified effort, and he's actually, I think is he higher than where he qualified? I can't remember.
Yes, I think he started 20th or 21st.
He did. He started 21st. Yeah, I think he gained 2 spots then. Solid effort as up front. That looks like well, that looked like Powers sort of hassling Perez. He was under threat from Hoskins a minute ago, and now he's trying to take second back.
Yeah, the time in stream corroborates that. He is indeed really piling on the pressure, as we've got now, what's that, Kanga going up the inside of Matson, and surely not, and Takahashi. Fantastic.
Beautiful move there from the Estonians to take 2 cars in one hairpin. And Kanga will have saved his race with that one.
Yeah, he's definitely he's definitely done himself some favours there, Bradley. Absolutely.
Up to 14th then now is Alar Kanga, as Johan Halverson still trundling around in 6th place. Then no one behind him is able to do anything about it.
Yeah, Ryan just I was expecting him to try and get a bit closer, but those medium tyres just I guess aren't providing him the grip that he really needs to mount a proper challenge.
Absolutely.
There it is.
I'm disappointed it's taken me until lap 6 and a reminder from our pit reporter.
Yeah, I know. You're the CEO of Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Ow. Oh, here we go. Round the
Yeah,
outside. Garcia
that-
on Ryan.
Yeah, that looked like a slight mistake there from the Australian then,
Klaas.
and it's allowed Garcia and Klaas van Snelheid through, and Hunter Ryan drops from 7th to 9th. Looks as though he's going to try and come back at the guys ahead of him into the hairpin, but no doing because they're pretty much side by side going in, and it leaves Ryan with nowhere to go.
Ryan did very well to get it slowed down in the hairpin there, with Klaas just pulling out onto his racing line in the braking zone. That kind of wash can really take away your front grip, but yeah, Ryan just showing his inexperience there, just getting a bit mugged around the outside, really, wasn't he?
Yeah, he certainly was, and well, that puts Klaas one place closer to Halverson. Hopefully he'll be able to do something with that. really needs to get past the straight. They're already 3 seconds behind Adrian Simon.
God, yeah, that's rough. That is really rough. In fact, just looking closer to 4.
What? How was that 4 seconds?
What? Klaas
9
to
minus
Simon?
6? No, Halverson to Simon.
Oh, right, I misunderstood. Perez is definitely not shaking off powers on those soft tyres. Obviously, all on the same strategy here, except for Klaas, who obviously is struggling on those medium tyres.
Oh,
Here we
Klaas
go
has
then.
got Garcia somewhere then, as Nathaniel Powers to the outside of Felix Perez then, into the hairpin. Is going to have to go the long way around if he's going to make this one work, and it's, well, he's not.
No dice there, I'm afraid. Gonna have to try again next lap.
As that is indeed Klaas then, we saw it on the timing screen, and he's past Gabriel Garcia, but he's on the inside line into the chicane then. I think he's just going to get the overlap, and yeah, indeed. So Klaas does get the car fully ahead then just before the chicane and manages to take that place.
Fully clots the curve of the suspension there, but I'm sure I can take it.
Yeah, thankfully our suspension is made out of, like, you know, steel, diamond. It's all good.
Sounds kind of heavy, bro. No wonder.
But yeah, that's why we haven't been particularly as quick as we have been in recent seasons. Just interesting, actually. Thank you, Rob.
Huh. I didn't know that. He's just told us.
I thought it was incredibly...
It's extraordinarily brittle.
Yeah.
It's strong. I suppose it's like glass.
Yeah, I suppose strong, but any kind of lateral. Is that the right word? Lateral load would just shatter it.
I imagine when it comes
if
to
it gets pressure on it,
more
the
about
wrong
oscillation.
We'll go to. I'll tell you what. We'll go down to Rob now, and he can explain diamond to us.
Is it about oscillation, Rob?
Not at all. What I'm going to do first is explain the pit stop strategies for this race, the way that I'm thinking they're going to come out. So, one stop strategy for 35 laps, obviously. So I'm assuming that the hard runners will probably be nailed on with that. Whereas the two stop strategy is around lap 24. So I'm expecting that to be what the mediums end up doing. The 3 stop strategy is 18 laps with the 4 stopper on lap 14 for their first pit stop. So it'll be interesting to see where those soft tired runners fit in on that kind of scale. So it's we're already just over halfway towards a 4 stop, but if they can eke that strategy out a little bit longer, the softs should be on for a really good result. As for material science, what you're talking about here, Bradley, diamond is indeed very strong, but it hasn't got a very high toughness, and in engineering that's a very different thing. Something can be strong but not tough, and something can be tough without being strong.
Oh.
Like Kevlar.
Kind of, yes. Kevlar, yeah. What you end up with carbon fibre composites in particular, so what actual suspension arms in Formula Virtual are generally made of. What you're looking at there is all of the load paths through the suspension have to be either in pure tension or compression. You cannot have any bending loads, because otherwise, once these things are loaded in bending, you end up going in their kind of weaker directions, so you end up with them with their failures. So yeah, you've got to be...
sorry to cut across you there, Rob. Nathaniel Powers down the inside of Felix Perez into the hairpin then, and I think the Brit might have just got this one done. Yeah, indeed he does then. Slices across in front of Perez before the chicane, and Powers is up to second.
Yeah, Hoskins tries to have a little sniff there, but nothing doing. Rob, am I correct in believing that also carbon fibre can fail if even one of the fibres is slightly incorrect?
It's a complex phenomenon. Composite science is something that is extraordinarily difficult, but in theory, if one fibre breaks in a composite, you end up with the other fibres taking the load due to the safety factors that these guys will be inherently applying to their designs, because otherwise you know, as soon like you very regularly get minute defects that will then cause things to be less simple than pure fibers being continuous length. But yeah, eventually those loads will then cause problems further down the line, so that you end up with suspension failure. Essentially, yes.
Thank you very much, Rob.
That's very interesting indeed, thank you. Just noted while we were listening to Rob, we didn't see it on screen. Klaas van Snelheid has got past Johan Halverson and is up into 6th and a bit of clear air now then on those medium tyres.
That's pretty cash money for him.
Already some 1.3 seconds clear of Halverson as well, who's now got his teammate Gabriele Garcia all over him.
So who else is really doing a good job? Zylander's caught up to this train rather nicely.
He has indeed. Is this the first time that we've seen Garcia anywhere actually near his teammate on track?
Yes, but it is only because of strategy.
Well, yeah, but give him some credit. At least he's actually there this time.
Yeah, true. And he did score points last time out as well. That 8th place finish, which is ironically where he sits now. Arguably, he would have got that 7th place if he wasn't held for so long in the pits as well.
Yes, I mean, his teammate finished 4th, but...
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, Rob, that's a good point. Garcia's helmet is really nice. It's just nice to look at. I'm talking... Let's just not expand on that, because I nearly just played myself there, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
Simon's really
struggling?
not looking very positive about making a move in this hook, line and sphincter. Sorry, I keep repeating the things that Rob says in my ear. Oh, here we go.
I was going to say he's lining Hoskins up now then, into the hairpin, but no, Simon thinks better of it and doesn't dive.
That slide dog. He's just biding his time, trying to, I guess, figure out his braking spots.
Oh, it's further back. That is Elroy Wagner going past Yukimi Takahashi then. The German up into 16th, having finally disposed of the second Arrow car. Or the first Arrow car, depending on how you look at it.
I suppose it's... Ooh.
Oh, that reminds me actually. Rob's just mentioned something in our reference strategy. Last year, the soft tyres here did 4 stops. And the mediums did 2, with the hards doing a 1. So I think we're around roughly the same temperatures we were here last year.
Oh.
So
I'd forgotten about that.
But yeah, I only noticed because I was looking through it the other day for some data.
I should really start looking back at those before I do my strategy. Nah.
I wouldn't. I love how all the crowd here as well are staring at the camera rather than the cars going past.
Yeah, it's because we're really interesting.
They can't see us through the camera, it doesn't work like that.
Well, Vasquez goes around
oh yeah. Yeah, Vasquez then, on the medium tyres, has passed Hunter Ryan on the same compound.
Yeah, I think you thought that Ryan was on the softs for a minute there, didn't you, Bradley?
I did.
Oh, I bet you thought you were going to get away with it too.
Yeah, if it wasn't for you meddling kids.
But I got no dumb dog with me, so yeah, blood.
Yeah, so James Vasquez then through past Hunter Ryan and into 9th place, as he's now the next one in the train behind Johan Halverson, and he's developing. I mean, that goes all the way down to Alar Kanga in 13th now. Kinnaman's slipped, so Kinnaman's lost the position to Kanga and slipped away a little bit now.
Yeah, I think he maybe had a really strong start on those tyres, just hasn't been able to go anywhere with them since.
What tyre is he on?
I think he's on the mediums actually.
Do you think he's on the mediums? Oh, I'm looking at this going, Kinnaman's a Westwood driver. How do you not know what driver he's not, is it? He's driving a Chima.
Yes, he used to drive for me. He doesn't really at the moment.
Or does he? Does he actually drive for you, but he's in a Chima? He's actually screwing Chima over from the inside.
He's a double agent.
Double agent, yeah.
He's got Giordano with a nice run on Ryan here, but doesn't feel like doing anything about it. Oh, it's got
behind them.
That's Kanga at the side of Zylander.
Yeah. And Alar Kanga then goes through into 12th. And well, he's making progress, isn't he, from a pretty naff qualifying?
yeah, he's getting the job done. He's moving up one car at a time, which is obviously how you move up. Although, yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Brilliant.
Oh.
Vasquez now is really close to these guys actually. Same tyres obviously as Garcia, so no real advantage there. And while Ingram did seem to struggle a bit in qualifying, they were looking really promising in practice with both cars in the top 8 positions, was it?
Yeah, I think it was. They were very quick in practice, but the pace didn't seem to materialise in qualifying for them.
No, but we've seen that a couple of times this season where they've just struggled to hook it up in quali.
Yeah, I don't know if it's just that the Jaguar engine just doesn't quite have that, you know, sort of final mode or setting on it yet. They've not, you know.
Maybe, I don't know. It's a new, obviously it's a very new project, and for what they're trying to do in Formula Virtual in their first season, I think they've done quite admirably actually. And obviously Ingram, their first season without a Honda power unit in it since 2014. No, 2013, because they ran BMW and then they switched to Honda. So there is always going to be some kind of transitional issues that arise there. As we've got Kanga really hounding Giordano here now, obviously, both on the soft tyres. In fact, these three really could end up in a spot above her, caught up in that hard tyre train. Especially if we think the mediums are going to do 2 less stops than the softs.
Yeah, I mean, that's what we had here last year. So it's kind of, you know, it's a rough guide to go on, but yes, we do have slightly different temperatures. We'll have to see, you know, sort of how it plays out. I think it was only just a 4-stopper here last year as well. It was literally by about 3 or 4 laps.
I honestly do not recall. I'm going to just nab Rob up here real quick to see if he can remember and get him to chat. Oh, never mind. We've got a move from Garcia on Halverson. Let's go. Action up the inside. And that is clean as a whistle. Although, Halverson might stick it in there. Ah! Garcia's had to back out of it. What a nonce. Unbelievable. Oh, he's gone up the inside! Some cracking racing here.
Yeah,
but yes.
Brilliant racing there from the 2 North Stars. Halverson holds it around the outside then. And maintains his 7th position. But look at these guys. They're now 8 seconds behind Klaas van Snelheid.
Yeah, that's pretty massive. Oh, big dive there from Hunter Ryan up the inside of Vasquez. Now it's kicking off. And it looks like Ryan seems to have got that overtake done quite nicely. As we've got Kanga really pressuring Puccio Giordano now. Obviously scoring a massive 6 points. Huge for the team last time out. But yeah, he doesn't seem to be looking... Well, he's on the fringes of points today, so Westwood are going to be hopeful again, I'm sure.
Yeah, meanwhile his teammate's struggling slightly. Beckenbauer started down in 24? 4? Was it 4? Ouch.
24.
But he's not really made up any ground. Only up to 20th, the German.
Yeah, he's got a bit more
Vasquez
behind.
That's Vasquez defending from Ryan. He's pushed Hunter Ryan wide then. On the exit of the hairpin, this could give Giordano the look, but I don't think he's going to make it. And this could allow Kanga around the outside of the Italian, but nope, he's not working there either.
Yeah, just managed to get that better drive. Zylander pokes his nose in, has a little look. Kinnaman's having a bit of a sniff as well, getting a bit of a cheeky whiff. And this is the really fun effect of the hard tyres that we all love to see. It creates a train that artificially creates racing, so I'm down.
One mistake here, and one of these drivers is going to be right at the back of this little
that's
speaking of mistakes, that is Thierry Zylander around. He's struggling to get going again there a little, but he has got going again now, but he's lost the position to both Kinnaman and Elroy Wagner, so that's about 5 seconds he's lost there in that little incident.
Yeah, that's really unfortunate there. After obviously the pressure's riding on him, he's had a bit of a rough start to the season. He did well last time out.
He should have scored some really strong points at Silverstone. I think Zylander was probably on for 6th. in the race.
Oh yeah, there might be a bit of an overtake action going on. No, there will not. Carry on.
Yeah, I was going to say Giordano. I paused because I was thinking the same, but no, Giordano thinks better of that one. But yeah, Zylander was on for probably 6th place last time out at Silverstone, which would have given him a hefty chunk of points. 8, unsurprisingly. But yeah, it just obviously, unfortunately, had that spin and then got collected by his teammate.
Yes, he did. Sorry, I was listening.
So what word do you use?
Absolutely.
Oh, Ruiz pits.
Ruiz is in the
Enrico
pits
Ruiz,
on
then
those
race
soft
leader
tyres.
at the end of lap 17, is into the pits
Throw
on the
it
soft
down to
tyres.
Roberts.
And that is a firm 4-stop strategy, I believe.
Rob.
Yeah, just 1 lap short there from making it into a potential 3-stopper. So if they can run any longer over the next couple of laps or over the next couple of stints, it might just be possible. But also, don't forget, with the guys right further down running the softs, they look like they may well be able to deal with the 3-stop strategy because they can go a lap longer if they follow what we've seen from previously.
Yeah, definitely. So Powers
the
pits
likes
as
of
well.
Yeah,
Kanga and Zylander are also in. Neither of the firsts have pitted.
Yeah, so it's only the 2 firsts and Giordano, I think.
Simon as well.
Made it. Simon's made it as well. Oh, this is going to be really big for these guys.
Interestingly, though, Ruiz only 3 seconds behind. So he's got. If you can get that clear air once these guys leave, you might be able to pull out that gap again. Anyway.
Yeah, that pit stop. Don't forget, it's a really, really short pit lane here in France.
True.
Absolutely.
I think about 16 seconds. Well, we'll be able to tell where. Actually, we won't be able to tell because it's. I'll be able to guesstimate roughly. So Perez is what? Call it 2.5 seconds ahead of Ruiz. It is 2.5 seconds.
Yeah.
So
Oh, that's a very
Perez,
tight pit lane.
Hoskins, and Adrian Simon. Then very tight pit lane here at Magny-Cours.
Yeah.
So let's see how this goes. Perez is released first, Hoskins and Adrian Simon is obviously held to let the 2 firsts go by. And where? Well, obviously they're going to filter back out in 4th, 5th. Or are they? Actually, here comes Johan Halverson. Perez has got clear of them. Garcia's through as well. Hoskins is caught behind the 2 North Stars though.
That is huge for strategy. He's really going to have to turn those tyres on quick and get moving.
So staying out the extra lap then has worked beautifully for Felix Perez, the race winner last time out. It's not worked at all for Hoskins and Simon.
No, absolutely not. But I don't think that pissing a lap earlier would have saved them much either, to be honest.
No, to be fair, yeah, probably not.
That's a huge shame. And importantly, a lot of the guys that were on softs in the kind of fringes of the points have actually ended up caught in that Takahashi train as well. So the hard tyres really screwing up for everyone else here today.
Oh yeah, Kangaroo
That came across a bit too sharp actually. That was sounded a bit bitter.
That's because Giordano's now 20th, isn't it?
I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm not really that fussed on Giordano being 20th because he's only like what 8/10 off of Kanga.
That's a good. Actually, yeah, that's not a bad effort. Well, he had just been overtaken, hadn't he?
I was gonna say he was in front of. Oh no, Kanga wasn't. Yeah.
Yeah, Kanga had just gone past. So
Oh.
at the front, then we've got Enrico Ruiz after his first stop, still leading 4 seconds
Oh,
over
there
class
goes
finish. Now
Hoskins.
there's
He's
contact.
front round.
That is. Was that Will Hoskins and Gabriele Garcia? And
Ryan's
Garcia's
collecting.
reversed into the path of Hunter Ryan, and that is going to cost both of them time as the rest of the field stream around the outside of them.
Kinnaman's into 9th. Look at him go. Sorry, he's my. Like, I'm not supposed to cheer for Chima, but I can't help it. I do love my boy.
And look at this
Too much,
gaggle then
too much.
into the hairpin.
Kinnaman.
5 cars trying to fight over one piece of tarmac.
Henry.
And well, I was absolutely expecting tears there, but it's worked out. Garcia now then on the inside of Hunter Ryan, and Ryan takes that position then through back into 10th past Gabriele Garcia.
Yeah, that was a bit of a a surprise. Not a surprise. What's the word? Damn it, my brain's not working tonight. Hoskins chasing down Halvosen.
Yeah, so he's already wiped out one North Star. Can he wipe out the other?
that is more than possible, and I'm sure if there's a way, you will find it.
As just up towards the front, Nathaniel Powers obviously, unsurprisingly, closing in on his teammate.
Here it goes.
Here we go then, Hoskins around the outside, and well, he's done that one cleanly. That's a bit better.
Yeah, seems to have refined that move a little bit over the last lap.
Maybe he just didn't like Garcia.
It's quite possible. Simon not really making as much progress as those first boys.
No, he's not. I mean, I think to be fair, he got caught up a little bit, having to
he
slow
might have
down
been-
for the incident
Oh yeah.
that he did.
Here we go. So we've
As
got
here we go, this is Garcia coming back
And
at
the
Hunter
fire.
Ryan then. The Brazilian on the outside at the hairpin. I don't think he's going to make that one work whatsoever. Hunter Ryan will surely shove him out, and indeed he does.
It's $1 short and a day late. Yeah. Yep.
No.
Yeah.
That doesn't work.
Oh, as the arrows seem to have collided. Good spot there from our pit lane correspondent.
Yeah, it's not bad on the pissy little screen we give him.
Yeah, considering he has to stand it. Oh, is he having to do the cable thing this race? I don't think he is.
No, we're all good at this at the moment.
Very big binoculars, he says. Yeah, Simon's definitely looking like he's going to find a way past Vasquez. ASAP Rocky. If you don't know who that is.
Yeah, I don't think he'll be sat behind the Colombian for too long.
I wonder if he'll try and replicate one of Hoskins' overtakes here. Let's find out. He does! Around the outside of turn 2 here. It's easily cleaning away. Seems to be the preferred line with a lot more grip on the outside, kind of like the karting line, as we saw a man sticking his hands up like he's under arrest. Luckily, don't say that. Sometimes I have to be the Bradley in my own head.
Yes, very much so. As here we got here, so this is Matson chasing Turin. So this is the little gaggle that were caught right behind initially Halverson, but then got held up by the incident, weren't they? As there we've got Marcus Thunder then. Thunder running in 19th, the sole Lucas in this race, because Carson Davenport failed to qualify, but Thunder did get through quickest. As that was Giordano trying to go down the inside.
Yeah, a bit of an optimistic move, but
wasn't it just? But yeah, I was just going to say, Thunder got through Q1 with the quickest time, but couldn't replicate it come sort of like Q2 in the main part of qualifying.
yeah, you do get that sometimes. It's quite It's quite easy to. How can I put it? Obviously, once you've set what you know is a really good lap time, because for them, getting out Q1 is the primary goal. As Simon, I thought was going to try and make a move around the outside there. Maybe he's going up the inside into turn 3.
Simon's caught Halverson really quickly, and you think he only passed Vasquez last lap, and he's 3 seconds up the road already. I don't think
Yeah,
this will
and
be
here
long
he
indeed.
goes.
Simon
Up the
then
inside.
down the inside at the hairpin, all over the curb, nearly gets that very wrong indeed. But
He's run
if
back
anything,
in
that's probably
ragged
helped
trying to
him
get
put Halverson behind him.
Yeah, keeps him in his place. As we've got the two arrows really causing a bit of hassle here.
Yeah, they are going side by side into the hairpin, then giving absolutely no one behind any
Whoa,
chance to do
Giordano,
anything.
that's not on at all.
He's learning from Simon.
He certainly is. He's trying to copy the former world champion.
Yes, isn't he just? As we dive on board then with Lewis Ellington, following his teammate. Not bad, to be fair, considering they started some 9 positions apart.
Yes, they did. Those hards not switching on to Takahashi at all.
Sorry, we both just had a message from Rob in our ear, and I think we were both sat there at the exact same time trying to work out what he meant.
Yeah. It was kind of it was kind of worded
You could
like
hear
Rob
the
was having
cogs
a stroke.
ticking over.
I don't wear Crocs.
What? Not even close.
Kinnaman. I'll tell you something else. Ryan really doesn't seem able to catch Kinnaman here. He's like he's slowly reeling him in, but barely.
Yeah, he
Kinnaman
doesn't
is.
seem to have a lot of pace at the moment, does he?
No, I've noticed this. I think I said this last race. Shima's pace, and I think the way they use their tyres, their pace really seems to fluctuate. They have like periods where they'll have that really nice like grip and pace. it falls away from them, it seems to come back to them, kind of thing. Like, I don't know, they almost like yo-yo, so they end up at a fairly consistent average, but times like this, you really see the advantage of it, because Kinnaman he's just putting in a really solid job.
Yeah, absolutely. As so Kinnaman currently running in 9th then, but somewhat 10 seconds behind Vasquez. So they're both on the mediums, aren't they?
Yes.
So we've got Glass on the mediums, everyone in between on the softs, and then Halverson's on the hards, Vasquez on the mediums, Kinnaman on the mediums, Ryan on the mediums then to complete the top 10.
What laps did the soft hard runners pit again?
4, 6, 17?
17.
Yeah.
Wait, was that so the ones who extended went 18?
Yes.
Okay. Sorry, I pay attention to the race.
Pit stops are part of the race.
Yeah, I know. That's what I'm saying. I pay attention to them. As we've got Wagner looking a little racy, a little feisty behind John Matson. What an experience this trio have. Matson, Wagner, and Milkovic.
Yeah. Remember when they were teammates? Not all three of
that's
them,
a throwback.
but Matson and Wagner.
Yeah, Team 23. Man, I do wonder what that team really could have been, but got to understand, Andy really just, he had his own stuff to do. He'd already mounted a good title challenge, didn't really see a future in Formula Virtual. He does still, I'm pretty sure he's the assistant principal for someone. You.
No.
Oh, he was?
He was, yes.
Someone.
But left to go and do other things, as this is Nathaniel Powers on Klaas van Snelheid then. Speaking of Team 23, Klaas van Snelheid was initially picked up by the Dutch outfit.
No way!
Before joining Downton, yes.
Did
Only
not
joined
know
us
that.
when they left the series. Powers will be hoping he gets through here a little bit quicker than the two managed to reverse their position to Silverstone.
Yeah, again, no kind of team orders here. You're scrapping for position, chaps. Just keep it clean.
I really wish there were.
Oh, be the change you want to see in the world, Bradley. Shit.
Just swap.
I don't have a mute button on my microphone, so everyone just heard me choke on my own spit.
Nice.
Yeah. I suppose while we've got a bit of a lull, we can talk about something that I'm very excited about that's in the news this week. Which I actually completely forgot to brief you on before the race, but I did pop a little note in the Skype, and that is a deal being formed between Westwood and Chima for the 2021 season.
Oh, okay. I'm just gonna hold you there because I think Powers might have a run here on his teammate into the hairpin, but nope, thinks better of throwing a move up the inside, so we'll sit there for at least another few corners. Yeah. Crack on. So
it has been confirmed on, I believe it was late on Wednesday, it might have been Thursday, that Timo Kinnaman will be not continuing with Chima following 2020, as instead he will be replaced in a sort of driver swap move, with Kinnaman headed back to his old team Westwood and being replaced by Carl Beckenbauer, who is leaving Westwood after just one season.
Sorry,
very exciting. Yeah, brilliant. I was like, wow, okay, back me up on that one. We can let Rob in on this conversation as well.
It's an interesting. All right, I won't bother then.
No. Say your words.
Well, I was just going to say it's an interesting dynamic. I mean, obviously Kinnaman was seen as a huge draw for Chima.
Absolutely.
And so, but it doesn't seem as though the partnership has really gelled, particularly to me as an outsider. I mean, I could be reading that totally wrong, but yeah, I think Kinnaman back at Westwood, it's just right, isn't it?
It's probably going to be the most popular move in the paddock, in my opinion. It's certainly the most popular with me.
Shocker.
While Kinnaman is, yeah. While Kinnaman is definitely putting in those drives, as we got Vasquez got past Halverson somewhere. Oh, they're scrapping. They're scrapping.
Oh yeah, they are indeed. I think it's slightly further up than what we're seeing, but there we go.
Yeah,
So yeah, so I'd assume Vasquez had tried to go around the outside at the hairpin, and he's kind of just nosed ahead, and then Halverson shoved him out onto the dirt.
One can only imagine. I don't know why I said it like that. But yeah, so that kind of opens up. Obviously, we know that Beckenbauer will be leading the Westwood team and also the Porsche program. So with Chima confirming their lineup, Westwood still have yet to.
Yeah.
Obviously, they've been very active. We've been very active in the driver market. So I think
Well,
nobody
that's what
really
the rumours have
knows.
said. Yeah, it seems as though you've Westwood have signed about half the grid. Oh,
hang
sorry,
on.
here we go. This is Nathaniel Powers. Then he got a much better exit from turn 2 than his teammate. And Powers down the inside of Klaas van Snelheid. And I think he's going to get that move done before the hairpin. And indeed he does. And Powers, who'd lost about a second stuck behind his teammate for a couple of laps, has finally got through then.
Yep, that was roasted, toasted, packaged up, and posted. Very nice stuff. Anyway.
Right, let's while you recover from that, let's take Rob's thoughts on the driver switch then.
Rabbit.
Hello. Yeah, I think it's a good move for everybody involved. To be honest, hang
on. Got Milkovic going up the inside of Kanga there at the hairpin, takes position and elevates himself into 15th place. Lopez, after the dizzying heights of victory in Japan, really having a torrid time of it in the last few races.
Hang on, so we've just seen Milkovic in a Chima but failed to qualify in Australia on the medium tyres overtake Alar Kanga, who won in Australia on the soft tyres, as Klaas van Snelheid makes his first stop on the mediums from second place. Then he will rejoin quite comfortably in 6th position then, and that is at the end of lap 29. That is a solid 2-stop strategy.
Yeah. We'll get Rob to do some pit lane stuff. Rob, say things, and then you can go back to saying how nice it is to have Kinnaman back at Westwood.
Yes. Medium tyres off, medium tyres on. Car moving pretty easily there. These midfield runners on the mediums, it's going to be interesting to see where they do come out, because I think that Van Snelheid's pace in the car meant that no matter what, even if he is on that harder compound, he was always going to get out ahead of the guys that he was around beforehand. Yeah, it looks like it's been a pretty interesting shake-up of the midfield runners though.
Yeah,
all the way up to 11th and Giordano in 12th.
Really interesting notes there. One, Kanga and Giordano were able to clear Takahashi and Zylander fairly rapidly, but two, whilst doing that, they still managed to get the jump on Vasquez.
Yeah, really impressive.
That's quite impressive stuff. And Giordano has actually closed in on Kanga quite considerably since making that overtake.
Yeah, I think it's interesting as well that the soft tyre seems to have had a relatively wide operating window. So, as we've said, the temperatures are a little bit higher here at Magny-Cours than they have been in previous points. But the soft tyre is still a very viable option. It would have been quite interesting to see how somebody would have coped on the extra soft, perhaps. I think that there was just too much temperature in both the air and the track today for that to work out, really. But some really good pace all round.
Ruiz could have probably managed it.
I was just thinking that, actually. It would have been really interesting to see, especially with the incredibly short pit lane that we have here at Magny-Cours, how someone would have gone on the extra soft tyres.
Yeah, I think,
I'd assume that would have been a 6th stop.
I reckon 69.
69 stops. I think that, well, to be fair, it's possible. They would have been able to do a 2-lap stint at the end. That would have been good. No, I think Lily does have a point though, that Ruiz probably would have been the best candidate starting from pole position, or indeed possibly Felix Perez starting from second. I think would have been an interesting one to see, with possibly a little bit of a deficit in the car to the Porsche of Ruiz and Adrian Simon. So yeah, it's going to be interesting to see how this one plays out nonetheless.
I will say that in that first, that car, and especially Felix Perez, really do seem to come alive on those extra softs, but it just seems to really bring out the best in both.
Yeah, I definitely agree. Perez seems to be a driver that prefers a softer compound of tyre.
Yeah, I think we've seen that a few times now from this season and previous seasons. I think it's very much that kind of. He's a very not aggressive, not necessarily the right word. I think his moves are always very considered, but he really likes to attack the car and attack corners. So having that extra grip at his disposal just means that he can absolutely wring the neck of the car and make the most of everything that he's got.
It is a wonderful driving style to watch, as we've got Kanga going around the outside of Vasquez there, clean as you like.
Yeah, that was a beautiful move. That was actually on Matson. Sorry, it was Vasquez behind him who was trying to do Puccio Giordano.
Oh.
But yeah, that came very late in the corner for Alar Kanga, but he still managed to pull that one off.
Yeah, he certainly did. Yeah, it's just a lovely move.
Yeah, I think that's exactly. It was lovely. It caught us by surprise. 8 out of 10. Solid.
I'd probably give it an 8.5.
Oh, check you out, giving him half a point more.
Yeah.
Is that? Did he only complete 75% of it?
What?
Half points. Yeah, alright. Kanga is through then into 8th place now. John Matson drops to 9th. He is on, obviously, the hard tyres. Hasn't made a pit stop yet. Likewise, Johan Helfsen, who's still trundling along in 7th, but
he's vibing.
I don't know. I kind of feel the hard tyres aren't working here, as this is Vasquez then looking around the outside of Giordano, and yeah, it gets far more purchase in the middle of turn 2 on that outside line, and Vasquez flies around the outside of the Westwood.
Yeah, those fresh mediums just really working for him. As Zylander's been able to actually catch back up to the Westwood here. I'll tell you what, I do think, as Beckenbauer has got past Takahashi and is probably going to set about this little scrap. I was just going to say, I really do think that we could be in for quite an exciting little scrap between, like, I'm going to throw in Ingram, Phoenix, and possibly Westwood catching that battle a bit later on, like, realistically.
Can I just question, at what point, what tyres is Beckenbauer on?
Softs.
Oh right, okay. I'm just intrigued because last time I looked he was like 20th, and suddenly he's 13th, and I haven't noticed him gain all those positions.
So he was stuck behind a bunch of medium-tired runners that were also stuck behind Takahashi. He's managed to, obviously the medium-tired runners pitted, and he's just cleared Yafune, so...
Takahashi, who, just a little tidbit, known as Yakataka to his friends.
Oh, that's really cool. Yakatak.
Oh yeah, because his first name, obviously, Yakumi.
Oh, hang on, we've got a bit of action here. We've got a Lucas, we've got Thunder going up the inside of Addison, and also
his sister.
Kiara Thunder there. Yeah.
He's just gone up the inside of his sister. Kiara. Maybe, probably not the best.
Ruiz pits, so we're going to throw down to Rob. Ruiz has not been able to extend that stint.
Yeah, right on schedule. He's going to start his 35th lap of the race, coming out the pit lane. So as you say, he's just short. It'll be interesting to see whether he can just it may be that they can eke out that final stint, depending on what happens with the with the temperature progression throughout the day. But what's also quite interesting with that is Powers drops behind Van Snelheid, but not by an awful lot at all. So
that's pretty close.
Yeah, so I'm quite surprised with that.
Well, I mean, Ruiz is already, that extra stop that he's going to make on top of the first, he's already gained back. Because he's rejoined in the lead, some 3.5 seconds clear still.
The firsts are on softs as well, Bradley.
Yeah,
of course, 4 and 3, yeah.
Yeah, that's what I meant.
That's his,
Powers, however, could be in real trouble.
Yeah.
I'll be entirely honest with you. Ruiz came into the pits, our guys did the pit stop, and he left again with such little fanfare, I didn't even notice.
As there goes Vasquez around the...
Oh, they come together! The two Ingrams have collided then at turn 1.
And now we get a little drag race between Westwood and Phoenix. Oh! You can't do that, Sonny.
Yeah, that's Matson then rejoining. Well,
there goes Ingram up the inside.
Really badly.
Ugh, that was awful. That is awful for his strategy as well, because he's lost the key with hard tyres is that track position. He's just lost that completely.
Yeah, and he's now only just ahead of Takahashi.
Yeah, I think that that briefing room is going to be awkward. As Zylander has actually gotten past Beckenbauer in that chaos, as in comes Simon, Perez, and Hoskins, so they've only been able to extend the first stint and not the second one.
Yeah, but I think even just that one lap is going to be enough.
It might be, actually. I don't know. Robert.
Hello. Yes. Okay.
I thought he'd been run over then.
No.
I think the likes of... Sorry.
Interesting to note there. Hoskins got out first. Perez got out first on the pit lane, but Simon's car was actually the service was complete before Hoskins. But it was just the fact that Hoskins was behind in the pit lane that meant that Simon had to wait. So it'd be interesting to see whether or not there can be a bit of time differential gained on the track. That means that the guys in the pit lane can make the difference.
Oh, Giordano's managed to get past Zylander in the pits.
He was ahead before they stopped.
Oh, was he? But
yeah.
No, Zylander passed him after the
yeah, but he led Zylander into the pit lane, so he'd obviously already got that move done somewhere.
Oh. Beckenbauer carries on. Interesting.
Yeah, isn't it? Just as Ruiz bangs in another fastest lap, somewhat unsurprisingly. He's just like comfortable up front, isn't he? There's just no challenge to him.
No. As we've got, speaking of challenge, this is a nice little scrap. We got Ledesma, we got Thunder, we got Addison, and Chiara's not too far behind. Those hard tyres, again, not really working for her. It was a joke in the paddock that she would be forced onto the hard tyres, and
yeah,
it's definitely aged well.
Yeah, it hasn't adjusted. As Thunder and Addison together on track once again, battling it out.
It's going to be a tasty scrapple season, I reckon.
As Powers is once again closed back up to his team. Somewhere he's gained 7 seconds. Wow. I mean, so the gap between Powers and Perez was about 4 seconds. Somewhere Powers has gained 3 seconds onto that. Because it's up to 7.
Like being speedy.
I wonder if that's the undercut.
Yes. Here we go. Beckenbauer. Oh, well behind these two. Oh, they had clear air. Seems like a pretty uniform stop, Rob.
Yeah.
Thanks, Rob.
No, it was
to do that all season.
Absolutely regulation stop there from Beckenbauer and the guys at Westwood. They've certainly got their act back together after some time out because I know that some of the guys left when Westwood left the sport initially, and they've all come back again. And yeah, they haven't missed a beat. They've been absolutely brilliant in the pit lane all season so far.
Yeah, what can I say? Westwood only hires the brightest and best, except for Nikolai Christodoulou. That wasn't very nice, but.
As Powers right in the slipstream of his teammate, then once again down towards the hairpin, but not doing anything with it, and he really needs to be getting past because the gap back to Perez is now down to 6 seconds. He's losing that advantage. If he's to make this strategy work, bearing in mind he's probably going to have to make one extra stop, he really needs to start building on that one.
Yeah, he does. He's not.
But then if we see 16 seconds for a pit stop, he's already got 11 on Adrian Simon, and we're only just over halfway. So that's just not too bad an effort.
I'd say
he just needs that clear air.
It seems to be a bit more than 16 seconds for a stop. I would say.
Ruiz pits again.
Oh, he's out!
Rico Ruiz is out of the race! So Ruiz then, the championship leader from the lead here in France, has retired.
What happened there? So all we've seen is he's had to go in the pits and he's just pulled straight in the garage.
Yes, there was obviously some kind of underlying technical issue there then with the Magny-Cours Porsche that they felt just Ruiz cannot carry on anymore. Enrique Ruiz then. Wow, and that's turned things on a Doubtner into a 1-2. Please don't crash.
Yeah, then Noah's Ark for the top 4 here. Simon though is only 10 seconds off the lead. It's not undoable, and he did manage to extend his stint as well. So he's only going 1 stop more than mediums.
Yeah, well,
it's going to be close, but he needs to clear these first guys as soon as he gets on top of them.
Klaas has already pitted, hasn't he?
Yeah, he does still have to do it again. Here we go.
Klaas has, so on board with Ruiz.
Yeah, it's a gearbox issue.
Yeah, I think, he's stuck in 6th gear, isn't he?
I don't know. It certainly didn't sound too healthy. Yeah. Going down to Rob, he seems to have the knowledge on the retirement. Rob, what you got?
Yeah, he came into the pit lane, stuck in sixth gear as you guys said, and yeah, as he stopped, bits of gearbox fell out the rear of the car, so that's not particularly good.
See, I'm relatively new to motorsport engineering in terms of the actual engineering side, but I believe that's what's known as not a good sign.
Yeah, we in the trade when the gearbox does something quite like that, we generally say that it's actually
Yikes.
lunched itself.
Oh, I like
I
that.
have heard
I've
that
never
saying.
used that.
Yes,
Lunched itself. Because it's
so-
eaten itself up, I guess.
yeah.
Oh, here we go. Sorry to cut across you. We've got Powers for the lead on Class National Hide around the outside of turn 4. I don't think it's going
Class
to
is
work.
fighting it though. Class is absolutely fighting it. He's all over the curbs on the inside of the hairpin, and he's actually pushed himself out, and that's given Powers absolutely nowhere to go. And Class is determined not to give this one up then, isn't he? But he's costing his teammate time here.
I was going to say, this suddenly seems very silly. Downton, they haven't won a race yet this season as Halverson... Oh,
Yes,
the hard tire
all right.
runners made their stops. No, I'm just saying that they really need to be careful and
Yeah.
actually utilise this opportunity.
Yeah, sorry, you were just pointing out there. Halverson has stopped and rejoins just in front of Hunter Ryan in 7th place. And
What a
that is
valiant
Johan
effort.
Halverson now going to the end of the race, and he's only going to gain positions, surely.
Yeah. Mind you, we should be seeing the medium-tide runners... no, that was 30, not 20. Shut up.
Yeah, they'll pit on lap 60 again. So, yeah, so Class is only on 10 lap old medium tyres. But yeah, the gap then back to Perez that Powers had stretched up to 7 seconds is now back down to about 4.5. This is costing him. Downton really needs to swap these guys.
Yeah, obviously if these two scrap it out for too much longer, this will create a good battle between the top 4 and probably allow Simon into the fight. So we could see a 5-car race for first.
Oh, don't.
I mean, oh, here we go. Simon's got a fantastic run
Yeah,
here
hasn't
on
he just?
first here.
Somewhere
not
there,
to do
Simon
anything
has
with it.
rocketed back up to the rear end of Will Hoskins and really pressuring the Brit now as we've got a yellow flag in the middle sector.
Who's there? That's the leaders.
Yeah, well, thankfully they look as though none of them are falling down on the timing screen.
Max has had to pit.
Oh,
who's
there we
that
go.
on fire?
Oh,
That's a
but there's a
Magny-Cours.
car parked at the side of the track. It's Gianni Ledesma, and what that's done is slowed Klaas van Snelheid up, and Powers goes through.
Well, I mean, it's not exactly how Downton would have wanted to do that, because Klaas has lost a bit of time there, but they got it done, and that's all that matters.
Orchestrated via a back marker. Good effort, lads.
Yeah, they somehow went in and sabotaged the Lamborghini engine, is it?
Yeah.
Although, that raises a very good point. Rob, you just mentioned that overtake was actually performed under yellow flags.
Well, I've just had a quick look at the replay, and I don't think it was that. I think it was opportunist, but very legal. We know that the marshals do such a good job of clearing the cars and clearing the danger here. That it was just a very good, very opportunist move.
Cheers for that, Rob. Cheers for the confirmation, just so anyone's wondering at home.
I tell you what this could do now. This could give Powers a brilliant chance to eke out some time. If Klaas can, well, I mean, obviously Klaas is going to be caught by the guys behind him. They're on a softer compounded tyre. But if he can keep them behind, Powers could eke out a bit of an advantage here and hopefully pull back some of that time he's just lost.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, I'm just having too much fun doing that now. Simon has lost a good couple of seconds to Hoskins somewhere, so I think he must have got caught up behind that Meteor a bit more.
Yeah, I think they definitely, because obviously Perez was only about 4 seconds behind Powers, and he's now some 5.5, 6. So yeah, they definitely all got caught up there. I think Simon probably just got caught a little bit more than the two firsts, as Klaas did more than his teammate. Powers is making this work though, and he's gained a second on Klaas van Snelheid in a lap already.
Yeah, he has. Big speedy boy.
Yes, because we've got another yellow flag in the middle sector.
Oh god, who's there now?
That's
let's
alright, it's
check
gone.
the
So I'm
order.
assuming it was just a little error from someone. Oh, Marcus
that's
Thunder without a front wing.
I wonder what that little error was. So,
I'm assuming it was
That-
Thunder.
I mean, yeah, but
Oh, sorry. Rob's just noticed an area. Thierry Zylander is
no!
off the road, and there he is, parked at the side of the track. And Zylander, that's both Phoenixes out of the race.
Phoenix, absolutely. I know I said it before, but just not catching a break at all this season. Oh, that's close. Kanga goes around the outside of Ryan. Kanga on the medium tyres, right? Or the softs?
Softs, I think.
He's done very well.
Yeah, indeed. Yeah, so that's... Oh, Phoenix have had rotten luck so far this year, haven't they? But
Yeah,
that
here we
was...
go.
Oh, so Zylander lost it on his own then.
And
Well, how is this going to happen?
Rejoined.
Oh, okay.
Rejoined unsafely.
Oh! Yeah, that was
big
Thunder
impact.
is really lucky not to take any further damage to his right front corner then, and to only lose his front wing.
Massively.
Yeah, that was naughty from Zylander.
Yeah, honestly, you can't. That's out. They all know it's a high-speed corner. The car's pretty loaded up on the exit. You can't just stomp on the brakes because you will create an accident. That's
Yeah, definitely, and that's a collision then between the two Downtimer. Downtimer? I don't know what Downtimer is. Downton customer teams, and Lucas actually, financially support the Phoenix team. They might reconsider that one.
Oh, I think they. I think there's going to be some fun conversations to be had behind the scenes for sure. But I'm sure it all will work itself out. Lucas and Alex are pretty close friends in the paddock.
Yeah, most definitely. But yeah, that one won't go down too well.
No, not at all.
And just interesting to note, that was Zylander then in car number 42, retiring on lap 42.
Oh, that's a fun fact.
Maybe 42's lost a little bit of its sort of lucky charm for Alex there.
But it's the answer to life, the universe, and everything. So.
Well, this is true.
Here we go then. So we got. Hang on. Oh yeah. My brain did a really weird mental acrobatic there. Seeing Lucas up there, I was like, wait. What?
Oh yeah, hang on, yeah. Oh yeah, he's a lap down, isn't he?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I did the same thing.
Wow. Although, having said that, seeing a purple car at the front, it looks pretty good.
It is quite nice.
That fits in there beautifully, doesn't it? As Adrian Simon just has a little look to the inside there of Will Hoskins, but thinks better of it.
This will almost remind Lucas of the times when they were actually, scoring victories. I think one was in
2013.
Monza. Yeah. Long time ago.
If it was, yes. As yeah, Adrian Simon, then he's closed back into Will Hoskins, as you've noticed. Hoskins, couple of seconds behind Felix Perez, who is catching Klaas van Snelheid now, but not as rapidly as I was expecting. Meanwhile, Powers isn't pulling away as rapidly as he did in the opening lap either.
No, I'm just wondering if maybe Powers is trying to get extend that one stint that he needs to in this particular one.
Yeah, it could be, and they're also yeah, it's pretty. I should imagine the team have told him now, or at least they've calculated and realised that the other their three rivals on the soft tyres behind Klaas are all doing one stop less. I can't imagine the boys in the Downton garage are that dopey to have not picked up on that one yet. And they've probably told Powers and just gone, eke it out a little bit, mate.
Relax on those tires, man. You have to be more chill.
It's like you need a lap, just one lap.
Just the one, mate. Don't worry. Don't stress yourself too much. It's just a lap. Don't know why I keep giving your engineers different voices, but I'm enjoying it.
Well, we employ, people
Don't
from
you?
all everywhere. That's why. So they all have different accents.
I don't.
Lillian Westwood just employs straight white males,
Yep.
which is somewhat amusing given the livery of the car.
Yeah. Well, what can I say? Master race and everything. I'll tell you what is interesting. Kinnaman has really kept that pace up since earlier. Me saying that his pace was going to fluctuate. I'm just wondering if maybe Chima took on board what I said last race and have fixed it.
What did you say?
I
mean, that was a whole week ago now.
I was saying that Chima's car tends to fluctuate on pace quite a lot, based on the way it seems to use its tyres. But since getting up into these kind of positions, Kinnaman hasn't really looked like moving.
Ah, got ya. As that is Kiara Thunder just moving out of the way for Will Hoskins, and she looks as though she's staying to the outside line, and that's going to allow Simon clatters over the curb and into the side of the Franklin.
But here comes Thunder on Thunder action. Wait.
But no. but yeah, Simon does manage to get through and put the lap on, well, Mathishaw's former rivals.
Yes! They're at the back now, though, so they're not.
Yeah, that's because Franklin are a backmarker team.
That's true. Anyone who's new to the series, don't look at any of the history about how they... It's all propaganda how they're supposedly the most successful team in Formula Virtual history.
Yeah, it's just rubbish. We've got to let Jamie, spout what he wants, because he gets a little funny otherwise.
Thing is, he's a wrestling fan. He does enjoy things being pretend. You could take that one home with you. I wouldn't though, it's not actually that funny.
No, I enjoyed it.
Thank you, Bradley! Oh.
Alright, whatever. Will Hoskins then, still holding on to his 4th position ahead of Adrian Simon. The Frenchman doesn't really seem to have that much, I don't know what, vigour almost in his home race. He seems to be lacking.
I just wonder, Bradley, if Porsche Matheshaw, they don't want another non-scoring finish. That doesn't look good for the team, especially when they're mounting such an impressive title challenge. I just wonder if maybe he's just settling down and trying to collect some points, because gaining 10 points on Ruiz is infinitely better than having an incident with Hoskins and not scoring any.
Well, yeah, this is very true. I mean, obviously Ruiz is some 30-odd points clear in the championship. It's
38.
It's not 38. It's 30.
Yunam's 30.
I mean, wow.
Wait, how would that make? That would mean you.
Yeah, just don't go into it. Yeah, obviously Ruiz,
like
despite the fact we've only had 5 races and he failed to score in one of them, Ruiz's gap in the championship is quite ridiculous at this stage of the season.
He's got quite a large gap at the championship.
But yeah, so Ruiz would be keen to just bag, as many points as possible. But that car is quicker than this. He should easily be able to get past Will Hoskins here.
Well, don't forget, they are coming to the end of their stints, and also it's not the easiest circuit to overtake at. We've seen a fair few moves for this circuit, I would admit, but it's not, doesn't lend itself to overtaking as naturally as Silverstone did, for example.
No, that's
You good?
Yep. I'll just put my teeth back in. That's very true.
You don't own tea. You can't
do.
drink a pint of Bovril. That's a spaced reference, if anyone watched that.
Did we see Kanga go past Helverson? Because he's now 7th.
Yes. No, me? No, we didn't. Good job, Kanga. You Chad.
I mean, I said Halverson wouldn't lose a position, so oops.
Meanwhile, Wagner's coming under pressure from Giordano, the other Porsche customer team. That's not. I mean, not
and
to
Beckenbauer's not too far behind him.
Yeah, not to put my own team down, but that's definitely not where Lopez are looking to be.
No.
I'll be honest.
No, although, I mean, to be okay, their qualifying was a little bit of a surprise. I don't think we expected them to be that far down. But let's be honest, if we take out the, win in Japan that came, let's be completely fair, as a result of a brilliant strategy call, but not a tremendous amount of actual pace.
Sheer luck. Just say sheer luck.
I didn't want to be that harsh.
Well, I mean, I don't.
Because it was, it's not luck picking the right tyre.
Yes, it is. Sometimes.
Right, okay, I've been told to say sheer luck by the producers. A result that came in Japan, a win that came in Japan through sheer luck.
you know, since then, Lopez have only really been at the tail end of the points. That's not tremendously far ahead of where Westwood seem to have been most of the time.
I suppose that's true. And also I think the important thing to forget here is the team's dynamics within the season. You get teams such as Lopez, for example. They do tend to kind of slip backwards over time as they start to focus on the next year, whereas Westwood very much don't bring their optimal package to race one, but really continuously drive it up the grid. We saw it in 2013, 2015. The only season where it didn't happen was, I think, 2017.
Yeah, they Westwood very much bring their best car to the final race of the season, and then forget about it over the winter and build another one that's shite.
Yeah, because it's so much fun, because it really works for the engineers. Because we work on the kind of philosophy of building a package that we know we can extract the maximum out of by the end of the year. But we can't really take a lot forward with it, especially with the regulation changes at the end of this year as well. Which is why we actually seem to do quite well in regulation change situations, because we're already in that kind of mindset of developing that new package.
Very much. As Powers pits then.
Oh yeah, that makes sense. It's 51.
Yeah, so he's still not managed to eke this set of tyres out.
No,
an extra lap, has he? So as it stands, Nathaniel Powers is still on for a 4-stopper, and this could really cost him then any shot of the victory here today in France.
Yeah, if he doesn't eke out this final stint, which I'm doubtful that he'll manage, it's not looking good for the Brit.
No, it's not, is it? I'd say that, well, what have we got? So Klaas has got one more stop to make. Perez has got also one more stop to make.
Yeah.
Because they've made their 2 stops on the soft tyres, haven't they, actually? So, as Kanga pits as well then, so Kanga also on for a 4-stopper.
Oh, dearie me, it could be about to kick off a little bit here.
Yeah,
Giordano's got past Wagner there.
That's going to cost Lopez then. Just looking at that, Perez is only 2.5 seconds behind Klaas van Snelheid. As soon as he gets some clear air, once Klaas... Well, actually, no. Once Perez pits, he'll be in clear air, won't he? I reckon he'll be able to use that, plus the fresh tyres, and once Klaas pits, he'll come out behind Perez, and I think Perez is going to be in the pound seats here.
Pounds? Oh, for the win.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good point. He's got that clear air. He's going to have.
I genuinely think Perez, having picked up his first victory just a week ago at Silverstone, may be about to follow it up here with a second, as him and Hoskins both die for the pits. Simon doesn't.
So they should be set to the end of the race now. Yeah, Simon carries on.
So Adrian Simon going, and Matthew Porsche going for the overcut here then.
Yeah, I think they're really running out of options in order to actually combat the firsts here. I mean, I hope it pays off, because a French driver, a French manufacturer at the French V-Prix would be a phenomenal result, unless he's going to do what he did a little while ago and just take the softs for like a billion laps. Obviously, it didn't work out then. I think it was 2016.
No, I can't remember.
Remember that time he couldn't pit because his pit box was blocked, so he had to wear those tyres right down to the canvas. Here we go. We've got Kanga looking to make some moves on Giordano here.
Kanga on the fresh rubber, then straight around the outside of Carl Beckenbauer. Oh no, that was Giordano, sorry.
At their last stops, I was mentioning how Giordano was only a few tenths behind, and Kanga is now pulled out of pit stop.
Yeah, and straight after that, down the inside of Gabriele Garcia, Kanga does 2 drivers in 2 corners.
He certainly does. He just... I think now that he knows he's on that strategy, that obviously he can't make his tyres towards the end, you have to... Oh, is Simon's finally in the pits? Yeah, overcut has not worked. Oh, hang on. No.
Not even
but yeah,
close.
I think it's interesting, because obviously you have 2 approaches when you know you won't make the end of the race. One, really slow it down, eke it out, try and get them to the end as much as possible. Or, what Kanga's thinking, just go hell for leather. See how far up you can get.
Yeah, I mean, it would almost make sense now if you... But then it's only a lap. I mean, you know, it'd be ridiculous if you can't stretch it an extra lap. But, you know, if Lopez are really aware that Kanga can't do it, then you almost say... I mean, obviously we don't see it in Formula Virtual, but the best strategy would be to do, I don't know, 2 sort of 8 or 9 lap stints.
I think while this doesn't come into the maximum stint lengths specified by
Why are
Goodyear,
both Westwards in the pits?
because they hadn't pitted yet.
Are they on
They
the same
managed to
strategy
extend.
then?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I've got to say, Beckenbauer's done a really good job of catching up to Giordano
Hasn't he
this
just?
race.
Given the so what? Giordano was where on the grid?
12th.
And Beckenbauer
was 24.
So there was a solid 12 places between them, and now there's 2 seconds.
Yeah. I mean, because I think I was saying this in the pre-race, Beckenbauer seems to have had a bit of trouble the last couple of qualifying sessions, but he definitely is getting the job done on race day. This is more consistent with a driver that we saw kind of make Giordano look a tiny bit silly in the first couple of races. They've also got some nice clear air, actually, to take advantage of, while the medium tide runs ahead of them have to pit soon. This could turn into a pretty profitable result for Westwood.
Yeah, it could do indeed. There's a driver I just want to highlight, actually. I think, he's gone a little bit unnoticed this race, but I think he's driven absolutely phenomenally so far, and that's James Vazquez.
Yeah, I was just about to say that, actually. He's up in 6th place, he's riding high.
Admittedly there was that, we're not quite sure what happened earlier, the camera was just slightly too far away. It didn't look as though there was contact, but, I mean, we can only assume there was between the two Ingrams that, sent Vazquez's teammate Matson spinning around.
You got to do what you got to do. No.
Yeah, I'm not quite sure that one's really in the rule book of how to beat your teammate.
Hoskins is really closing in on Perez here.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? Meanwhile, Simon's dropped back slightly. I mean, even when he came out the pits, he was closer than that.
Yeah. Yeah. I had to stop myself saying absolutely there, but I started saying it, so I may as well expose myself. No! Oh no!
Please don't.
Oh no! Oh, that was going to get quoted in the Discord afterwards. But yeah, Vazquez, he's besides contact with his teammate, I would say driven quite a flawless race.
What? Vazquez on the mediums?
Oh yeah, so he does have to stop again, mind. So that'll put him into 7th probably.
Yeah, but that's all right. So does everyone else, apart from Halverson. Yeah, fair point. He'll be 7th.
I'm just wondering if anyone else is on there. No one else on the hards behind. So
no, the next one on the hard tyres is Matson, isn't it?
yes.
Because I keep forgetting about him. I was going to say Takahashi, but it's not. It's Matson.
Takahashi, since getting a bit caught up in traffic, making his pit stop, he's not really been able to make the same impact he did earlier in the race. Ellington's driven very well. I believe this will be a best result for Arrow at the moment, as things stand. But
joint best result. Takahashi did take a 17th in South Africa.
Ellington does have to pit again though, so that might put him behind Takahashi.
Yes.
I'll tell you who else could be on for a good result. John Matson. Oh, here we go. Hoskins got a nice run. No, I think he's been told to hold position. He's looked a bit racier than Perez on this last stint.
Yeah, he has, and they've been closing as well on both Powers and Klaas van Snelheid ahead of them.
Yeah.
Powers really not making this work as he needs to. Needs to be extending this gap, but there we go.
Yeah, I do think Powers is either he's really trying to go for that extra lap, or he's putting the nail in his own coffin there. Yeah, and I hate to say I'm inclined to believe the latter.
Yeah, no, that's all right. I agree. I'll tell you what this has done though. Look at that gap. Perez is, as I predicted, only 13.5 seconds behind Klaas van Snelheid. When Van Snelheid pits at the on what we expect to be lap 60, then he's gonna. Oh, he's pitted now.
He's gone early for the
yeah.
undercut.
So Van Snelheid then obviously Downton have noticed they don't want him to lose too much more time, but he's going to fall easily here behind the two first cars, and I'd expect to slot in between Hoskins and Adrian Simon. Mind you, that looks a lot closer than I was expecting. Klaas van Snelheid level with Perez as they come out the pits then. Is he going to get in between the two first? No, he's not. Hoskins has just got through then into 3rd place, so Klaas van Snelheid is into 4th, but he is ahead of Adrian Simon.
Yeah, Downton really had to do that a lap or two earlier. Unfortunately, they just missed the gun a bit. Missed the gun? What? No, that's not a saying. Shut up. I'm just rinsing myself. Yeah.
If all of the soft tire runners had to do 4 stops, this would have worked beautifully for class.
It would have, yeah. But they didn't. I guess teams learned from last year, and a lot of them were able to actually employ those. Well, I mean, I can't explain teams such as myself who weren't here last year and haven't been here for a few years now. But that was a bit too much of a flex. But yeah. Oh, as Beckenbauer passes Ellington, I don't know if that's any significance. I'm just looking for movement in the timing screens, because it all seems to have leveled out a bit, really.
So that means Beckenbauer must have fallen behind Ellington at some point.
Yeah, when he made a pit stop. Ellington's on the mediums.
Oh, yeah, so he'd have just pitted, wouldn't he? Yeah, so you were mentioning Matson actually could be on for a good result. Yeah, I don't think you're too far wrong with that. I mean, as Vasquez pits then, so that'll be his final stop on the medium tyres. Yeah,
well,
not Vasquez.
Throw down to. Sorry, I was going to say we were going to throw down to Rob, but he seems to have decided to go to the loo instead of do his job. Yeah, he's going to be really annoyed when he watches that back.
As,
oh yeah,
Ryan
here they come.
Timo Kinnaman pit as well. Likewise, Verinas and Wagner. So yeah, the whole back end of the top 10 now are making their final stops, or at least those on the medium tyres are.
Yeah, and look at that. Yeah, oh, this could be tasty. So you got Ryan on those fresher mediums with an arguably faster car than Giordano and Matson ahead of him. Giordano with the faster tyres that are going to run out of grip towards the end of the race. Beckenbauer's tyres will last a bit longer, but Matson on the hards is going to be absolutely swamped, surely.
Is Giordano on for a 3 or a 4 stop?
3. Both the Westwood boys are on for 3 stops.
Okay. Yeah, so this could work quite nicely then for Puccio Giordano.
Yeah, but he'll have to make that move extremely quickly. Matson's going to have to put up a mammoth effort to actually... Oh, we've got Klaus van Schnellweider around the outside of Hoskins.
Where the hell did that come from?
I don't know, he just decided to do it.
Yes, lad, come on, one more.
Klaus up into 3rd, really proving his mettle there. Goes defensive into the head for some reason. Kiara Thunder and her brother Marcus are still inseparable. That's unbelievable. Unless that's... Oh no, that's Addison and Thunder. Kiara fell off.
Just like fell off the face of the earth, or
yes,
a cliff somewhere.
Garcia pits, so that promotes Matson to 9th and Giordano into potentially another point scoring position.
That's ridiculous.
Oh my goodness. We have seen some really positive forward momentum from Westwood this season.
Yeah, well there we go. A couple of laps ago, Matson was 15. Now he's scoring 2 points. This is
a
really positive race from Ingram. Now he's scoring 1 point.
Yeah, he's just been demoted by Giordano. So that and Ryan. So that is exactly what Puccio.
Now he's scoring no points.
Oh, hang on, they're scrapping out.
Yeah, he could be trying to grab this one back.
I have no idea.
This must be an incredible battle. Why are we not watching it?
Yeah.
Why are we watching the race leader?
Because entertainment.
I think Ryan's got it, and indeed, Jean Matson then, who went from 15th to 2 points, is back to no points.
Yeah, that's not the goal. Mind you, Kinnaman has also done really well in this train. He's not too far off the back of Beckenbauer. That feels fun to say. Back of Beckenbauer. Green eggs and ham. I don't know what I was saying. Green eggs and ham.
Yeah, well so that didn't quite work for Matson. But I was going to say, either way, Vasquez in 7th. This is a really solid result for Ingram. They scored in the opening 3 races.
2.
3.
No, 3. Yeah, they got a 10th, an 8th, and an 8th. I think that was all Vasquez.
No, it was all Matson.
I was right. I said all Matson.
I know it was all Matson. I can't remember. Wasn't it an 8th, a 10th, and a 10th?
No.
No, it was a 10th and 8th. Blimey, you got something right.
Yeah. It's definitely not because I was rigorously scanning the standings after last race's performance to see where I was.
Okay.
Oh, here we go. We could be about to see an overtake for 9th, though. Yeah, Ryan seems to have put that move.
Oh, Kanga's just done Vasquez.
Giordano's dropping.
There's a yellow flag in the middle sector. Vasquez is dropping
Vasquez
as well.
is slowing
That's
down.
put
Oh,
Giordano
no.
at the side of the track then. So the Italian, having just worked his way into the points for the second race in a row, is out of this one, and I think Vasquez has joined him on the sidelines.
Another engine failure for Porsche. This does not look good.
Where's Vasquez?
I don't know. Don't get me wrong. I suppose it's odd, isn't it? Because let's be honest, that Porsche power unit is far and away the superior power unit on the grid, in my opinion, and I think also it's kind of an objective matter. But man, they're the only team that seem to be consistent, like the only manufacturer that seem to be consistently suffering engine failures. Have been since testing.
Yeah, they've certainly had more issues than most, that's for sure. But yeah, so we've not actually got a replay then, it doesn't appear, as to what happened to James Vasquez. But that's I was literally just saying how, you know, Ingram, it was going to be a brilliant result for them, having scored in the first few races. They've had a few issues in the last couple of races, but it looked as though it was finally turning around for them. But it's not to be. I mean, Matson's up to 9th.
Yeah,
You know,
but I
they're
mean
still
now
on points.
Beckenbauer
Beckenbauer's
is
into 10th,
fostering-
so it's still points for Westwood as well at the moment.
Yeah, but he's really posturing like he's going to try and take that 9th off of Matson, who then has Kinnaman to contend with on those fresh medium tyres. It's not going to be easy for the Frenchman at his home V-Prix. He's going to be desperate to hang on.
Yeah, no, Beckenbauer will absolutely push him for this one. I'm just looking slightly higher up the standings at the moment at the gap between Powers and Perez. Powers has extended that by about 3 seconds in the last couple of laps. It's up to 14 now. He's only a couple of seconds away from being able to actually make that pit stop and rejoin in the lead.
I just wonder if maybe he's actually given up on trying to extend the stint and just gone for hell for leather like Kanga has. Kanga still has to make another stop, and actually it's not looking like he's made this gap to the end of the top 10 either. Well, I mean, it's borderline.
Oh yeah, 16 seconds ahead of Ryan. He should. I think Kanga will be able to. If he has to pit again, Kanga will pit and come back out in 7th, I think, quite comfortably.
Actually, yeah, you could be right. Oh, here we go. Giordano, nice run, but nothing to do. Seeger's going to go up the inside of the hairpin.
Yeah, he's
This
certainly
is really intense stuff.
He's certainly got better traction there. Obviously, on tyres that are 2 compounds softer.
Here we go.
And here he goes up the inside.
Does it under braking. Oh, all over the curb, and in perhaps goes Kinnaman maybe. He's going to have to back out of that one surely, otherwise there's going to be tears.
I don't think he's going to get the chance to back out of it. Matson got such a better exit from the corner, despite being kind of shunted towards the gravel.
Yeah, it's quite an impressive display of that Jaguar power unit as well.
Yeah, the initial acceleration there was phenomenal.
Wait, yeah, seems oh, here we go. As we've got,
there we go.
Here we go. Some kind of suspension failure.
Yeah,
it looked like the actually no, it looked like the rear axle might have seized there.
I think that's there's no flames coming out the back. I'd assume that is suspension or brakes for James Vasquez.
The rear brakes were extremely hot. You can see they were glowing orange, and the fronts were not at all. And down to Rob, you've got some info for us on the DNF.
Yeah, now I can just confirm that it was brake failure. The engineers looked at giving the universal sign for brake failure, which would appear to be the hand going straight on and then the car snapping violently across to the left-hand side. So definitely brake failure there.
Yeah, just glad that he's ended up okay, because brake failure at high speed can be quite tragic.
Yeah, I mean, imagine if it had happened at the end of the initial kind of straight/curve heading into the hairpin.
God, yeah. Just glad he's alright, but unfortunate that he's retired from this race after such a strong performance.
Yeah, very much. Yeah, I mean that's hugely devastating for Vasquez and Ingram. He's very much been shown the way so far this season by Matson, but this really looked to be the race which he could be set to turn it about. But he'll regroup, he'll come back next time out, I'm sure.
Matson is really being hounded by Kinnaman here. Piling on the pressure is the Finn. This will be Tima's second ever point if he manages to make that pass, and that'll be.
They've scored more than 1 point.
Oh, they scored 2, didn't they?
No, they've scored about 5, I think.
Oh, nice.
Well, 6 actually. I'm underselling them.
Yeah. It'll be a very good. It'll be a very good performance from Chima though, and that will lift them ahead of Franklin. If they can pull it off, which they really need to.
Well, yeah, it's down to, well, to be fair, even scoring the 1 point would lift Chima ahead of Franklin, because their other results are so much better.
That's what I mean.
Oh, sorry, I thought you meant... For some
Scoring
reason, I
6.
thought you meant if he scored 2 points.
Oh.
I don't know why, but because I don't think he's got a hope in hell of catching Beckenbauer.
Probably not. Beckenbauer's got about 2 seconds on now. I can't read.
As Klaas van Snelheid is all over the back of Felix Perez now then, with 5 laps to go here in France. Suddenly, the mediums seem to almost be a quicker tyre. Then I suppose the softs are coming to the end of their stint, aren't they? And, you know, classes are, what, like 6 laps old? So...
Yeah. We should check down to Rob. Rob, what's the situation? Obviously, as Bradley said, the softs seem to be wearing out a bit here.
Yeah, I think they're just coming to the end of the stint. I think the track temperature looks like it might have gone a little bit higher with the ambient temperature as well. It could have been what contributed to the brake problems that we've seen before. So, yeah, I think you're exactly right. I think the medium tyre has just kind of switched on that little bit more as the temperatures have risen this afternoon.
I suppose that higher temperature could also explain the engine failure of Giordano. Obviously, it caught fire.
Yeah.
If we're working with higher temperatures than predicted, then that really does put strain on the system.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the cooling systems on the cars are always tuned to within an inch of their life, so that you're not taking too much air through the side pods into the air intake at the top on the roll hoop there, just to make sure that you're not creating too much drag. But yeah, if the temperatures start to go up even a little bit, you sometimes get into that stage where cooling becomes highly critical.
Yeah, cheers for that, Rob. As
that's Kanker past Halverson.
Yeah, it won't make much difference. Unless he can extend this stint, which with the higher temperatures, as aforementioned, I'm doubtful. Oh, we got Klaas running outside of Perez.
Klaas van Snelheid then, on the outside into the hairpin. Perez is surely going to cover that one, and bumps across the curb then, and just shunts Klaas towards the gravel, and Perez holds that position. But Klaas looking incredibly racy at the moment, and if nothing else, him battling Perez could give Powers that little bit more gap that he needs if he is going to make another stop.
Yeah, this is really crucial stuff. It's really coming alive at the death of the race.
Having held his teammate up earlier in the race, Klaas could be about to hand him the win.
Yeah, talk about a case of redemption. Oof. Love the fast kind of left-right flicks you got from this circuit. It's kind of almost reminiscent of the kind of turns that you get in Canada.
Yeah, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
I was looking at something interesting just now. That's it. Ellington, 16th position, on for a best result so far for Arrow.
Yes, very much so.
Very solid showing from the... they've been very, very public in the paddock about their disappointment with their early pace. I do think that is largely due to their inexperience and lack of knowledge of the Q1 process. Now that the Q1 process is equalised and it's working as it's supposed to for the rest of the season...
Has it? I mean, sorry, on board with Klaas van Snelheid, down the inside of Felix Perez then, into the hairpin, and surely this is going to put the Dutchman through. Oh, he's come together with Perez, and that's hooked the two of them up, and that's allowed Hoskins through past the pair of them.
And that's given Powers that pit stop gap, and now Simon's amongst the pair, they're going too wide in the next corner.
Oh, Klaas has lost out to Perez then.
Simon's got no front wing.
Yeah, so Adrian Simon then has run into Klaas van Snelheid, and he's tangled up now as well, and this is costing both of them, and it's handed the first pair, second and third, quite comfortably then, as Simon and Klaas van Snelheid come together.
Oh, Simon's still going to keep that 5th place probably, but oh my goodness, they touch again. What are these two doing? Powers pits, again. I think he's seen this opportunity. He knows this is his time to pit.
Hasn't he, Justin? Powers is surely, as long as the pit stop goes well then, which it looks as though it has because he's already in the fast lane, Powers is going to comfortably come back out into the lead here with 2 laps to go in France and put Downton on course for their first win of the season.
Perez had to pit.
Yeah, Perez pits then from 3rd place. Simon follows him in. Klaas doesn't. Klaas takes back the podium.
Oh my goodness, this is a bit too much. It's a bit too much action for me. Here we go. So Klaas up the inside, got all over the curb. Yeah,
as so many of them have doing, but it just got it wrong because the tyres interlocked there at the back then. And Will Hoskins saw what was going on and went, "Thank you very much."
Yeah, Hoskins was obviously he's a very experienced driver here. Simon, this is just spatial awareness, really.
Yeah, I mean, Klaas was as far over to the right as he could, so much so that he was all over the curb. And yeah, that was a little naughty.
Yeah, I dare say that Klaas could have left him a bit more room on the inside there, but it's done now.
Yeah, definitely. It's
Oh.
Kanga.
Oh,
We've got
Mattson,
chaos on the side.
McKinnon!
That's Timo.
No!
Yeah, Timo Kinnaman and John Matson then parked up at the side of the track. The two of them look as though they've collided, and that hands Beckenbauer ninth, and Zviranas is into the point as Powers slows then, and the race leaders all back off in the final sector.
I was already 9. Just letting you know.
There was he? Sorry.
But yeah, that's turned into somehow a double point scoring position for Ocelot at the moment, after benefiting from a fair few retirements in front of them. Yeesh.
Yeah, and we'll look to see if we get a replay of. Here we go. On board with Timo Kinnaman then.
That's
that was brake failure.
It looks like.
That was brake failure clear as day. The car just would not stop, and he creamed into the back of John Matson.
Whoa. Oh my god, look, Ellington is at the 14th position.
Yeah, so this is phenomenal then for Arrow. It won't actually do anything because all of the teams ahead of them have a 12th place finish. But it's the best result for Arrow.
Yeah, they can take that home and a double finish, which not a lot of teams have managed
There's
today.
still a lap left yet.
Huh?
There's still a lap left yet.
Oh, I'm sorry if I've cursed you there, Ben. Beckenbauer is driving the car. I'm not going to say anything else. Powers then, since all that kicked off, he's just had his just. What am I trying to say?
Has
been
he
clear at the
just,
front.
yeah. That played out beautifully from Nathaniel Powers. He was just about eking the gap. It was right on the edge of whether or not he'd have it over Perez, but the move from his teammate that sent them both wide cost the little gaggle behind him, well, quite a bit of time. And this is played beautifully as an arrow spins off in front of him.
Wait, that's Ellington!
But Nathaniel Powers rounds the final corner, and for the first time in 2020, Downton and Powers win the French V-Prix. Will Hoskins finishes in second. The arrow of Lewis Ellington recovers and finishes 14th. If anything, he'll be pleased he doesn't have to do a final lap. Klaas van Snelheid takes the final podium position then. Felix Perez pitted late on and slips to 4th. And won't be too impressed with Klaas's move at the hairpin, but, well, we saw a lot of them executing it today. In fact, actually, I think including Perez on Klaas earlier in the race.
Yes, we did.
Adrian Simon comes home in 5th, and it's a really disappointing home race then for the Matthershaw Porsche outfit.
Phenomenal stuff. 6th place finish. I believe he got that last time out as well.
It was 4th last time.
He's really on a roll.
Even more drivers fell off the road in front of him. But yeah, Halverson, another very solid, very strong race, picks up 6th. Kanga across the line in 7th. Hunter Ryan will finish 8th. Carlo Beckenbauer will take
15 places up from where he started in 9th place.
Points for Westwood for the second race in a row then. And Zviranas will cap off the point scorers. But yeah, that was well, the last couple of laps were a little bit mad, weren't they?
Yeah, I'll say that was I really came alive at the death, ironically. Absolutely,
It just
indeed.
then, but well, Ruiz's retirement early on opened the door, and Nathaniel Powers, despite an extra pit stop, made the best use of it and wins here in France. So there we go then, the official classification confirms it. For the first time in 2020, it's Nathaniel Powers and Downton on the top step of the podium. Will Hoskins and Klaas van Snelheid take 2nd and 3rd respectively for the second race in a row. Felix Perez picks up 4th ahead of Adrian Simon with the only points today for Matthershaw. Strong result again for Johan Halverson. Ocelot picking up double points, but a retirement from Rico Ruiz from the lead then. Well, let's see what that's done to his championship lead. It's reduced it dramatically. He still has it though. It's 5 points now over Nathaniel Powers. Will Hoskins goes past Klaas van Snelheid into 3rd. There is 1 point between those two. Adrian Simon now down to 5th, 25 points behind his teammate. That's a whole win, but he's gained ground here.
Carl Beckenbauer and Lewis Ellington also gaining quite a lot of ground in the championship with their respective best finishes of the season to date. Indeed, with Beckenbauer, it was his first points of the season. And in the Constructors' Championship, well, we've only had one change, and it's a somewhat surprising one. Right at the top, Downton now lead the Constructors' Championship ahead of the might of Mathershore Porsche. 4 points is their advantage, but quite how long that will last, we shall wait and see. But that's all from our race here today at Magny-Cours. So from me, Lily and Rob, thank you for joining us, and we'll see you next time for round 7 from Jerez, Spain.